Hey everyone, the Gaming Collegian here, and we're here with TGC's Replay's first episode. I'm your host, Dylan Ortuno, with our co-host, William Wenzel.
Hey there.
And on today's show, we're going to be talking about my most anticipated horror story game, the League of Legends Worlds Group Stage, and more news from this past week. So let's just get right into it. So, keeping in theme with October, it's a scary month of the year. We're going to talk about my most anticipated horror game for the future. Granted, this game is not coming out in this month. That is a little unfortunate. It will be coming out later on. It's expected to be out next year. So let's go into that. We're going to watch a little snippet of the trailer also. Take a look at our fantastic logo there, courtesy of our designer, Henry Hines. Quick shout out to him. So the game, Choo Choo Charles. I know, you're probably looking at it. You're looking at the little thumbnail, might be a little spooked out. Also the name, not the most scariest name in the world. But let's just take a quick peek. We're not gonna watch the whole trailer just for the sake of time, but just to give, just to give the people an idea of what this game is all about, and also to just help us discuss. So as you can see, basically, to give you a long story short, you're on this train and you're running away from this monstrosity, Choo Choo Charles. And the whole goal of the game is pretty much just want to outrun him. Just keep running away. It's a horror game. It's a chase game. So you kind of see right there there's a wide variety of people to talk to. You can see their little humor there. I will say a shout out to TikTok. That's actually the reason why I found out about this game. I want to say it was the dev. They posted a little clip of this trailer on their TikTok, and I was like, it's not bad. It's pretty cool. But the trailer's actually pretty short, so we almost ended up watching it. You can end up upgrading your train throughout the time. You still end up fighting Choo Choo Charles. But yeah, I growing up, I had a huge obsession with train games and just trains in general. So this kind of touches a special spot because I do also like horror movies. So it's like a mix of games and then the horror side of things that I like, all in one place. So really looking forward to this. And you can even see right here, we have the Q1 2022. So it's going to be coming out relatively soon, in the next few months or so. So yeah, something to look forward to. But what do you feel about this game, just kind of looking at the trailer right there?
If anyone has any built up resentment from their childhood, definitely a good way to take out their anger towards Thomas the Tank Engine. But Choo Choo Charles definitely looks like a very interesting pick. I think I'll pick it up when it comes out. Definitely seems like something that I've never seen before. I always enjoy when video games tend to innovate and tend to create something completely new, and this game definitely does that. So I'm very excited to see where this goes, and I'm very excited to play it as soon as it comes out.
Yeah, honestly, it definitely did give me a lot of Thomas the Train vibes when I was looking at it the first time. I thought it was like a parody video. I was like, oh, it's a horror Thomas the Train. No, it's an actual game. That's pretty cool. But moving on to our next topic, this past week, so today is Friday, was it like Wednesday, Tuesday, I believe? The group stage for the League of Legends World Championship ended. I'm a pretty avid League player myself, been playing since 2016. I love playing it with my friends. I know Will, for your experience, roughly around the same time.
The whole game.
Yep, so we're gonna look at the group stage and just talk about what our biggest surprises were, how the groups went relative to what we thought it was gonna go like. So I'll let you take the wheel here. What was your biggest surprise?
I guess I can go group by group here. So Group A, for starters, it was kind of interesting to see the Fun Plus Phoenix sitting in the 4th seed. Coming into the gate for this tournament, a lot of people did think that FPX was going to take it all, given their 2nd seed that they got. So seeing them in a 4th place definitely is a very big upset. Furthermore, DWGKIA isn't really too much of a surprise. They're a universal team. But then we look at C9 versus Rogue, and we really start to question ourselves again. If any of you guys watched that last game, it was an absolute nightmare. I know for me, I was sitting in my room, annoying the crap out of my roommate, screaming at Rogue because they couldn't smite a dragon. But at the end of the game, Cloud9 ended up pulling ahead in a 3-way tiebreaker, which was absolutely crazy. In Group B, to be honest, not too much of a surprise there. T1 did end up coming back from Edward Gaming getting the initial head. But all in all, Edward Gaming and T1 being up there as the 2 seeds beating on 100 Thieves and Detonation Focus Me is definitely not a surprise. Furthermore, in Group C, it's very interesting to see Hanwha up there. Hanwha is a team that comes out of a very unregistered location and region, so it's very interesting to see that they actually pulled ahead. Fnatic definitely did not perform like they should have, and same with PSG Talon in my opinion. Both are very, very good teams, but just we couldn't see the performance that we wanted out of them. And Royal and Hanwha, and they really just played better, and Hanwha pulled ahead even though they were an upset. So in Group D, Gen G is actually my favorite to win the entire tournament. I've been pulling for them the entire time. After seeing their first game, I was like, man, this team has some potential. And along with Mad Lions, Team Liquid being in the bottom really isn't too much of a surprise. And LNG, while they are a good team, they haven't really been performing while they have. But that's kind of my analysis of the situation. I'd like to hear what you've got to say as well.
Yeah, so I guess I'll kind of take it the way how this shaped up relative to what I thought. So for some of these teams, I'll be completely honest, some of these teams I just did not do my research on, and Absolutely. I was not really fully thinking about it. And now for Group A, like I was like 99% sure Dan1 was going to get first. I think most people could say that for that group. If not that, they had Fun Plus Phoenix in first place. Understandable if you think about it before the fact. I think Fun Plus Stems, they definitely underperformed. I was surprised by that. I was not hopeful in Cloud9. I had them in last in my pick'ems, and I had Rogue in third. Rogue was kind of just like, they were just there. They just seemed like an okay team. I could see them getting some wins, primarily wins against Cloud9. That's what I was thinking beforehand. And they performed just about as I thought. Like I knew they weren't better than Dan1. I thought they weren't better than Fun Plus, but we had the surprise here in Cloud9 for sure. Group B, again, not really much to talk about because there weren't really surprises of T1 and Edward Gaming getting first or second. Just your pick on how that happened. Group C, Hanwha was a huge surprise, especially coming from the play-in tournament. The run they had there was awesome. I mean, they showed that they were a whole level above the play-in teams. Though I had a lot more faith in PSG personally. They were my crystal ball pick. Didn't go too well for me. But I was fairly confident in RNG doing pretty well. I thought that they were going to get first in this group. They did. So that's pretty huge. And Fnatic, I wasn't as confident on, but I thought they would do a little better than Hanwha. So I had them getting second. I got proven wrong. Or I had them getting third, and I was proven wrong. And then for Group D, this one was super exciting, especially in the last day when you got to see the four-way tie. It was really, really awesome to watch. Just the amazing fights that each team was giving each other. It really just came down to like who was able to have the better last few games. Any one of these teams could have been in the first, second spot. So super awesome, and congrats to Gen G and Mad for getting those spots. But yeah, now we're gonna move on to our next segment, which I believe will have a little something to say about that.
Yo, what's up guys? It's What's the Pros Doing, your favorite place to go for VODs and how to take pro play into your own game. So I got a few VODs here from the past League of Legends world, and I'm gonna be teaching you a bit of how to use your TP properly. So going one, LNG versus Gen G. We got BDD sitting in the mid lane as Zoe. If we pause it here, we can see that the Zoe is backing for gold, but the Zoe actually took TP here, so we're gonna see how they use that in correspondence with this top lane to set up a play. So Renekton moves around the Zoe, as you can see right here, around the tower. And what that allows you to do is it allows that Renekton to cut off the escape of this enemy player. So whenever Zoe goes into TP, Renekton's already cut off the position of the enemy player, and the TP ends up being just an easy kill, where Renekton tanks the tower shots and ends up getting that kill. So moving on to another analyst, we got T1 versus EDG. In this game, we see various things. I'll go ahead and pause it right here. We got a Jace topside, and we also got a Sylas right here. So what those two both took TP as well. So we're gonna see a little bit of how they work together and how they use their strategies with TP in their games. So as we can see here, even though Sylas Jace both have TP. They're playing around those side lanes, pushing in the side lanes and setting up a position to where they can TP and still engage in a fight mid, setting up pressure both on the team fight and on the side lanes. So furthermore, if we keep on going, we can see this in the same game, they go for a Herald fight. So right here, if we pause it here, Silas is going mid, and the Silas ends up taking this ultimate away from the Shin. So this ultimate is basically just a TP. So as we keep going along, we can see that there's a fight that breaks around the Herald. Now, if we look right here, we can see that Silas is nowhere near the fight. But with this TP, we can see that he ends up using that TP to get into the fight. So he's contesting those side lanes, getting CS, getting farm, while still being available for that team fight, which ends up providing him with a few kills and obviously Herald. So finally we got Fnatic and RNG, a very similar boat here. But with this we got the Kennen, which is very important here. And we got a team fight that erupts, and the Kennen is bot side, once again pushing those side lanes and making it to where they can put pressure on the side lanes while still applying pressure in the team fights. So as we keep on going, you can see that the Kennen is actually TPing in mid and uses his ultimate to lock down different players. So there's a few things I wanted to go over here. So first of all, you can use your TP to coordinate with other players to get picks and kills. Second of all, you can use your TP to go to side lanes while still contesting that team fight. And number three, you can use your TP with champions that have large lockdown potential to TP right into the middle of a team fight and get those picks and kills. Thank you for tuning in. We'll go back to our main segment.
All right, so I hope you guys really enjoyed that informational session by William. Make sure you take those tips into your next game of solo queue, flex, whatever you play on League. So going back to our main show now, got two more topics to discuss real fast. And speaking of competitive games, a new game is coming out, Battlefield 2024. It kind of released its new little competitive side, a brand new mode. This one's called the Hazard Zone. I'll leave my thoughts. I'll show you guys a little bit of the clips, and I'll kind of tell you guys, how I'm feeling about this. It looks interesting. I'll say that much at first. So we're, blah 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 blah. We are gonna speed through it a little bit to get to the more gameplay focused side, because we appreciate the graphics and everything. But long story short, it's kind of like giving me a little bit of a Warzone vibes, where they're dropping you in. It's a bit of a battle royale. You're in a squad, but it's almost like you have an actual objective this time around, as opposed to just strictly killing people and being the last one remaining. So as opposed to just dropping in, getting that victory royale, or whatever you want to call it, you're actually going for something. You're going for these things called drives, and you basically want to be the team that gets the drive and successfully pulls it out. So there's obviously going to be like more information released about that, but the way I'm thinking it's going to work is that teams that do end up dying will not have the chance to secure their drive, and if there's like the last team remaining or something, that team will be able to, for obvious reasons, get their drive and retreat without any interruptions, and they win via that. Maybe there's some other win condition where if you kill everyone, they're going to be gone. But how do you feel about this little twist on the Battle Royale scene?
I actually really love it. I remember back whenever Fortnite was big, and I played quite a bit of it, they always would release these game modes where it wasn't exactly like last one standing. It was that type of thing where you collect coins, or I remember there was one where you had to like get the heist and run away. Mm-hmm. And with that, those were always my favorite game modes. So actually, I'm very excited to see how they take this and run with it, and see how this actually plays into the Battle Royale scene.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty excited myself to just give it a spin, because I'm always I at least try every Battle Royale. I won't say I stick with them, but I tried all of them. I've tried the Realm Royales, the Spell and Breaks, the
Absolutely.
Apex Legends, those games. And this one looks pretty cool. It kind of does remind me of like a limited time mode of Fortnite, particularly the heist one.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool. It's its own mode, and the map looks really expansive. And it's just going to be a new game, so it's going to look pretty.
It's also nice whenever you think of the graphic intensive aspect of it. It's kind of that Fortnite vibe, but it's definitely that first-person shooter Battlefield, the classic, very high-intensity graphics, which is always nice as well whenever it comes to the Battle Royale scene. I know, like you said, Warzone tried to do it, but not all the times they hit the mark, while Battlefield almost always hits the mark with their graphics. So it's going to be very excited to see how they integrate into the Battle Royale scene as far as graphic aspects go.
For sure. And speaking of competitive scenes, our last little bit for the day, a Sony patent technology enables stream viewers to kick out players in like a tournament or in a setting like that. So basically, Sony patented technology that it's not being implemented right now. As far as I'm concerned, there aren't any plans to implement it anytime soon. But in the future, they have this patent now, so they can have this technology where, like in tournaments, let's say like Evo, viewers will have the chance to bump out a player if it's like reaches a certain threshold. If I remember correctly, the threshold is 60%. Also, this is courtesy of PC Gamer, so shout out to them for doing the reporting. So how do you feel about a technology that lets people boot players out of a tournament? Like, you know.
Okay, here, I think it's actually a very unique take on this. So, in a way, it kind of discourages like a lot of competitive aspects behind the game. So whenever you enter a tournament, you're not necessarily trying to go for the crowd pleasers as much as you are going for something that will get you to win, you know? Something that will get you from point A to point B. But it's very interesting on how this take can like integrate that aspect of trying to please the crowd as well, while still integrating that aspect of like winning. So with Sony's patent of kicking people from the games, it leaves it up to the crowd and how they're actually enjoying the experience as to whether or not a particular player or a particular like group of players are going to actually stay in the tournament, which is very, very, very interesting. And I'm very interested to see how this keeps on going and proceeds and ends up actually getting integrated.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely took it a whole other way, thinking like, you know, what if people just rally up and just like for the memes kick someone out? I'm like, that could be horrible.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of work that needs to be done to like actually make this efficient and work well. But I like the idea. I think it can be used in a good way, just like right now, the way we're looking at it, just like, you know, vote to kick someone out. It sounds kind of silly. It does sound a little silly. But like you said, you know, there are some pretty cool ways this can work to make the tournaments a lot more entertaining, and to keep out those like sleeper matches where you're kind of just like snoozing through because it's clearly one skill better than the other skill. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And to end it off, we have our question of the week. All right, so for our question of the week, you guys can respond to it in the comments. I'm going to be asking it directly to Will right here. Question of the week, what was your favorite childhood game? So let's say, you know, growing up or something, or in your preteens, around that, like what was your favorite game, and what's your favorite memory with that game?
Absolutely. I remember I didn't really get into gaming until the latter half of like high school, like normal or early high school I really got into gaming. But my biggest memory from my childhood when it comes to gaming would be my brother. So he'd always sit there. He was big into gaming in high school and everything, and I'm a few years younger than him. And I'd sit on the couch and I'd just watch him play. And he was really into like the Zelda franchise and all that. So I'd sit there and I'd like enjoy just watching him. So that's my biggest memory for gaming and in my childhood years, was just watching my brother play through those Zelda games. How about yourself?
So you know, my favorite game for sure, I've been a gamer for as long as I can remember. My parents were gamers, my siblings were all gamers, so I just ran through the family. So I remember as early as I could be, I would play a lot of Super Mario 64. Really loved that game. Especially just, you know, getting into platformers. That's really the game that got me to have a passion for platformers, and really just Nintendo in general. So now Mario happens to be one of my favorite characters in video gaming, as well as just the fact that I really like platforms. I like to think that I'm good at platforms too. And yeah, that's definitely my biggest spark. Not only just the beginning of when I liked gaming, but also just my favorite memory. I have a lot of fond memories and things like that. But going back to the comments section, guys, feel free to let us know in the comments what your favorite memory or your favorite game was growing up. But that wraps it up for us. So thank you guys very much for being here for the TGC Replay's very first episode. And we will catch you guys next week.